Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So let's do another 7-star level 120 review in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And then I was actually not planning on maxing out Luneth, his level, but I just came across like so many maxed King Minitars, and then the pace of the release of the 7 stars in Global seems a little more relaxed than it was in JP. So that actually gives me more time to, upgrade more characters. And then I did enjoy making the video of Squalls, so I thought it'd be cool to make a similar one for Luneth. And then comparing the two is actually kind of interesting, because they're both solo attackers, but kind of everything else about them is very different. So it's interesting to look at them together. And then I'll talk about this later, but whereas Squall is kind of a simple character, Luneth is a little bit more complicated, like in how you build him and then how you use him. So we'll have a look at that as well. And then I did mean to say this during the Squall video, but I forgot. And that is kind of a recommendation for which level you would want to raise them in order to get sort of a flavor for the character without having to go all the way to 120, since it's a big investment. For Squall, I would say you bring him to level 105, and then he'll pick up the dual cast, and then you can sort of play around with him. At level 110 and 115, he just picks up more stats. So as a character, he doesn't really change all that much. But anyway, talking about Luneth, I have some memories of the character. I did play Final Fantasy III. You saw in the intro movie there. It's a cute game. It's more similar to 1 and 2 than it is to 4 or 6, for example. But it's the first Final Fantasy with the job system, so that's pretty cool. If you did want to play it, I would recommend it on PSP. That's a good remake, and then there's only the single screen. There's one for DS as well, but yeah, the PSP is easier to play, I would say. The first 5-star that I ever pulled in Brave Exvius was Ace, but I didn't know the character, so I just kind of ignored him for a while. Luneth I got soon after that, and then I used him a ton in the early game, so I went through a lot of the world quests with him. And then up to now, as a 6-star, he's been, a dual-wielding attacker who usually just spams cut through. That is his, single-target attack. And then, yeah, that saw me through a lot of the game. I used a hit all a lot as well. That's nice in easy quests where you just need to take down a lot of little guys all at once. But with his 7-star form, his cut through is kind of replaced by new attacks that he gets at level 105 and level 110. And so, yeah, again, if you wanted to get a flavor for the 7-star character, I would say 110 is good. The first attack he gets at 105 is Blade Torrent, and then this I would say is the replacement for Cut Through. It does a few things at once. It increases in power as you use it. It also chains with itself, so if you had 2 Luneths, you could use it like that. And it also upgrades Cut Through to Slay. So in a sense, you're still kind of using Cut Through, but not in the original form. And then since Luneth is a dual-wield character, when he uses Blade Torrent, it will count as 2 actions. So when it powers up through consecutive use, then that will reach the max power more quickly. And then we'll look at it in the training dummy, but a rotation of like Blade Torrent, Slay, Blade Torrent, Slay seems to be pretty good. And then even if you go back and forth between that and Slay, you don't lose that consecutive power-up thing. So that's pretty cool for Luneth. The next ability that he picks up at level 110 is Sword Shower. And this is kind of his marquee ability. You can only use it once every 3 turns. But it does like 40 hits or something. So this is his main chaining move. Again, however, it only chains with itself, so you're going to need 2 Luneths to do it. But yeah, if you can pull it off, that's like a 90 hit chain, which is insane. In the future, there will be more characters that have like quintuple cast abilities. So if you get 2 of those characters and you're chaining them together, then this sword shower might be able to weave into there just because it lasts for so long itself. I've tested out sword shower, and then of course we'll look at this in the training dummy, but it seems like it doesn't do that much more damage than like say the blade torrent or slay. So to weave it into that rotation, I would say is maybe not the best idea, especially since it costs so much MP. It's 120. But if you could use it to chain with itself, then it might be worth using. As for Luneth's limit break, I did not level it up at all, and that was a conscious decision. What it does, it is a single hit, and then it breaks the target's defense. If you give him his Trustmaster, the Celestial Gloves, that will improve his limit break. Let's see. Well, it doesn't say, but it also adds Element in Peril, 4 different elements, and then also restores his HP and MP to full. If you max out the limit break on top of that, that is a defense break of 74%, and then elemental imperils of 74%. And those are really, really good. Those are like top tier. But I feel like I can get those things from other sources, and then I can also get them without having to rely on a limit break. So that's why I haven't maxed out the limit break. And that's also why I haven't gotten the Trustmaster yet. I really do like that MP restore, because Luneth uses a lot of MP. But I'm not in any hurry to get Celestial Gloves. It does give him a flat 30 attack, which works well with his true dual wield. As a 7-star, he also gets the Trust ability, which gives him 20% more attack. But as we shall see, I don't need those 2 things right now. Maybe later, but yeah, I'll explain that in a second. Alright, so I've unequipped Luneth, and then one of the things that's a little tricky about him is to think about how to equip him. He is a dual wielder, and then with enhancements, where is that? There we are. With enhancements, he will get a 50% attack buff when equipped with a short sword, sword, large sword, or katana. So if you give him a mix of 2 of those 4 types, he will get 100% attack buff, which is great. He also has a 30% attack buff just natively in him. So with 2 different weapons, he's starting with 130% attack buff. So let's give him some of that. We'll give him a katana and then a large sword. So, okay. So now he has 130% attack buff, the max of which is 300%. And it's actually really easy to hit the 300% with him. So let's equip... Actually, let's give him some heavy armor as well, Iron Colossus. And then let's give him... Let's see, Sworn 6 Dark. That's another 60%, so now he's at 190. We'll give him Large Sword Mastery. There it is. So that's another 50%. He's at 240 now. We'll give him Katana Mastery. So that's another 50%. He's now at 290. And then let's give him Proud Fencer, another 40%. So we're actually at 330% attack buff, but that last 30% is not counted because we've hit the 300% limit. So I have to kind of, juggle my equipment and my abilities so I can, try to hit exactly 30% so that I don't go over. And then, yeah, I haven't even given him any weapons that were increased in the item world with those enhancements. And I also haven't given his Trustmaster, which would give him another 20% attack. So yeah, as you can see, it's very easy to hit the ceiling with him, so you have to be careful about what you give him. Later on, the limit for stat buffs will be increased to 400%. So once we get that, then we're a little more free about what we can give him. But for now, we do have to be careful. But let's try to get rid of that extra 30%. So I'm actually going to unequip this Sworn 6 Dark, and then instead I'm going to give him Azure Crimson Soul, which gives him 30% attack. So yeah, actually, if we look at the attack value, it's the same as it was before with a Sworn 6 Dark. But now he gets 30% more HP, and then the limit break fill rate up. So that's nice. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind there. Another thing I could do is I could give him 2 of the same weapon, like 2 great swords or 2 katanas. That would remove 50%. And then I could, go in and get that percentage from other places, like his Trustmaster, the Celestial Gloves, or some other thing. And then if I did hit 300% and I had like a leftover ability slot, I could give him a Slayer ability, so that would be nice. One thing that I would really like for Luneth is Adam Jensen's Trustmaster. That's available now with the Deus Ex collaboration. That would give him another 20% true dual wield. He has 30% in him for reaching level 120. So that would be 50% of the max 100% true dual wield bonus. And that would be some nice attack values there, I think, as well. But yeah, as you can see, when I fully equip him, this is just an example build, but I can break 1500 attack with him, which is very crazy for a dual wield character. Generally, true double hand characters have the higher attack. I can get my Squall over 2000, for example. But yeah, dual wield attackers hit more, so it's pretty crazy to get this amount of attack with that. But going further and talking about the differences between Squall and Luneth, it really does come down to that, either true double hand or true dual wield. One big thing to consider if you're trying to choose between a dual wield character or a double hand character is that double hand characters are more difficult to put together. You need a lot of 5-star trust masteries, like Cloud's Buster Style, Elfrida's Martial Glove, or not Nyalu, but that recent Cat Rider, her Trust Master as well. Dual wield, all you need are just weapons. And then, yeah, you just equip those and you attack and you get all that in there. True dual wield is better, but it's not necessary for dual wield characters. One advantage that dual wield characters have over double hand characters is that they have more access to elemental weapons. So Luneth here, we can see he can use Brotherhood, Excalibur, so he can get that water or light attack. Otherwise, Hyomonto, the ice katana, Lightbringer, the light regular sword. There's a bunch of great swords with a fire element and so on and so on. So yeah, if you were going into a quest where you did want some kind of element, and you had the weapon for it, then maybe it would be better to bring a dual wield character rather than a double hand character. And then looking at Luneth and then Squall in particular, Squall is kind of a simple character because the way to build him is pretty set. You want to max his limit break, you want to get his Trust Master, and then equip it on him. And then you want to get the aforementioned Buster Style and Martial Glove, and then you're set. You can just, double cast his Keen Edge until his limit break is ready, and then use his limit break. With Luneth, he has so many options for equipping, and then also you kind of don't really need his limit break or his Trust Master to get the most out of him. So it's really up to you how you want to build your Luneth. We're almost done. Let's talk about his enhancements. You can enhance his cut through. I would say go for this, just because it's going to be one of his main attacks, especially when using a Slay after using the Blade Torrent. Sword Master I would definitely upgrade. That gives him more options and then more percentage buffs. You also have the option of enhancing his advance. I would not do this once he becomes a 7-star, because once he picks up Blade Torrent, that will unlock Slay anyway. Plus you get some attacks in there, so yeah, I would stay away from advance, just use Blade Torrent instead. And then finally, let's look at a Luneth's Super Trust Master, Luneth's Close. Some people are wondering if they should keep 2 7-star of Luneth, or if they should just fuse them all together to get the Super Trust Master. He does have that potentially 90-hit chain if you use 2 Luneths. But I would say these clothes are more game-changing than that chain possibility. Attack 45 is the highest flat attack in the game right now for a body piece, and it's going to stay that way for a while. At the moment we have Iron Colossus or Cloud's Uniform, which gives you 15, so this is a full 3 times better. And then since it's flat attack, it works well with True Double Hand or True Dual Wield. So yeah, it's pretty valuable for that. It's good for Luneth himself as well. Okay, but I think that'll do it for talking about the character. Next, let's bring him to the training dummy. Okay, here we are at the training dummy. First thing, let's look at the limit break. Let's see what kind of damage that does. This is at level 1, so this will be the lowest damage. Alright, 1 hit, 1.2 million. Which is really good for the 6-star meta. Alright, and then with a level 30 in there, he would, I think, get 30% more damage. And then, yeah, break the attack, imperil the elements, and then give himself HP and MP back. Alright, so let's keep that 1.3 million damage in mind. And then let's try his cut-through, his enhanced cut-through. Okay, so 2 hits for 1.5 million damage, so already more than his limit break. Alrighty. Next, let's try the Blade Torrent. That's his ability he gets at level 105. This is the beginning damage value, which will go up as we use it more. Okay, 6 hits in all. And then we saw that that second round of hits was upgraded, so 1.3. Alright, let's try again. Okay, 2.1, and let's try that one last time. Okay. Alright, so about the Blade Torrent max 2.1. So yeah, that's definitely better than using cut through every turn or using his limit break every turn. Alright, let's go back in. Let's do the Blade Torrent Slay rotation. Okay, Blade Torrent. .2. Okay, let's use Slay. Okay, that's quite a bit more powerful than the cut through. 2.3, good. All right, let's use Blade Torrent again. Let's see if it keeps its buff from before. Yeah, definitely. Okay, 2.2, good. And let's use Slay again. Alright, 2.5. And one last turn, let's use a Blade Torrent again. Okay, 2.4, that's fine. Alright, so those are all values without buffs, without elemental advantages, without breaks. Alright, finally, let's look at his 3-turn cooldown move, the Sword Shower. Okay, but we have to wait a couple turns to get it. So in the meantime, we'll just keep using the Blade Torrent then. Okay, one more. Alright, and then let's use the Sword Shower. Okay, lots of hits. It's really filling the limit break gauges of everybody else. Alright, 3.3, pretty good. Alright, so on average, maybe it's maybe 2 million a turn in damage. The best is the Sword Shower. So maybe you do want to fit that in when you can. Of course, finishing chains would be really good with him. The easiest one to finish with would be Cut Through, I would say, or Slay. Just because it's like 2 big shots that come out pretty immediately. Okay, I think that will do it for the training dummy. Finally, let's take Luneth to an easy boss. Okay, so let's try out Luneth in everybody's favorite punching bag, that is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is actually not the best place to show off a damage dealer, because he has his self buff, which raises his defense real high. But I have Dispel on Gladiolus, so let's see what we can do. So first, let's Royal Guard Luneth. And then with Luneth, let's do Blade Torrent first. Okay, not bad. Alright, and then there is the defense up. So with Gladiolus, let's dispel that. We're still guarding Luneth. And then let's use Slay, which was upgraded by Blade Torrent. Wow, pretty good. Okay, let's see. Gladiolus is no longer covering Luneth, so let's put that back up. Which means I can't dispel Gilgamesh, so... Alright, but let's continue the rotation. We'll do Blade Torrent again, and that will be more powerful than before. Okay, that's fine. Alright, Gladiolus has taken some hits. He'll have to be responsible for his own healing here. Alright, and then let's dispel Gilgamesh again. We still got the Royal Guard, yes, okay. Alright, and then with Luneth, let's try a Sword Shower, why not? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's see, 24%. I'm wondering if I could get him down this turn. Let's play it safe. We'll guard with Gladiolus again. And then let's do Blade Torrent again. Still, that's pretty good damage though, even with the defense up. Okay, and then finally, let's dispel with Gladiolus. And then we'll slay with Luneth. Okay. Alright, so that was Luneth. Not too shabby, and he had just enough MP to get through that. But yeah, I think I really would like his Trustmaster, so that I can refill his MP with his Limit Break. Alright, so I think that will do it for our look at Luneth, and hopefully that will help you make a decision about whether you want to go all the way with Luneth or not. In short, he is a finisher that's much easier to put together than a double hand character. So maybe look at how much double hand equipment you got, and then think about which would be better for you to go for. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.